Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We've had a little bit of technical difficulty to get started here, first match of the year. So we apologize for that. We should be going, I know, on stretch right now. We're working on getting YouTube going as there seems to be a problem with the YouTube feed, but we'll get that fixed if you're watching on YouTube. You're not hearing this right now, but if you're on stretch, you are. So first home match of the year for the Tabor College Lady Blue Jay volleyball team. They're facing Kansas Wesleyan, who comes in at 1-4. They were receiving votes in the preseason polls, coming off a very good year last year. They did lose some key players and have a new coach, but Tabor comes into this contest at 1-3. Neither team has played a conference match, and this is not a conference match. This is a conference school, but in a non-conference matchup tonight. Tabor comes off of a tournament last weekend at the Fall Fling in Hutchinson. It is the NAIA's largest volleyball tournament in the country. Every KCAC school was there. Several schools from across the nation were there. 2 days of just volleyball from 9 in the morning until late into the evening. But very good volleyball to watch overall. Tabor started at the Fall Fling on Friday against Peru State in Coach Ganowen's very first collegiate match as a head coach. As expected, it's going to take a little bit of time for him to find his niche with this group and for them to adjust to him as well. So the first match against Peru State, a lot of a learning curve for everyone. And the Bobcats did defeat Tabor in 3. Second set, Tabor much better showing as they played William Penn, who's a very solid team. And William Penn defeated Tabor in 5. Tabor took the first and the third, lost the fourth 25-23, and ended up losing in 5. Day 2 saw Tabor come out and play a very good College of St. Mary team out of Nebraska. Took a set off of them. It was the only set College of St. Mary lost. But Tabor did fall in 4. The final match of the day, they beat Oklahoma Panhandle State in 4. Kansas Wesleyan went 1-3 as well at the Fall Fling. Not sure their schedule results, but they went 1-3. Then they did lose one before that, so they're 1-4 on the year. Right now, the team's gone back and forth, kind of filling each other out. It's 5-4 Tabor with the lead. KW serving. Nice job there by Brittany Hebert, the 5'11 sophomore from Gossel, Kansas. Gets the ball back to the Blue Jays. Number 11, Taylor Queering, serving for the Blue Jays. Good block by Hebert. Sam Smith with the back set. Hebert hits it in the net, gives the ball back over to the Coyotes. Starting for the Blue Jays is number 1, Sam Smith, 5'4 senior from Greeley, Colorado. Number 2, Marissa Sandoval, a 5'6 freshman from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Had a great tournament last weekend, as did Sam, and a lot of the ladies did. Number 4, Marissa Groff, 5'10 senior from Corn, Oklahoma. Number 11, Taylor Queering, a 5'9 sophomore from Bradshaw, Nebraska. Olivia Dirksen, number 16, a 6-foot junior from Gossel. And the previously mentioned Brittany Hebert, number 16, a 5'11 sophomore from Gossel. Monet Ortiz is the libero for the Blue Jays, number 13, 5'3 senior from Lakewood, Colorado. And we see the Blue Jays just hit it in the net, just didn't quite crawl over, gives the ball back to the Coyotes. So far this first set, it's been a 1 or 2 point lead for the Blue Jays. They're up now 7-6. As we can see, number 6, Carly Becker, ready to put the ball into play for the Coyotes. Nice put away there by the Blue Jays. We have a pretty good crowd here for the first home match. This is the first home match and the only home match for a month for the Blue Jays, as we will pick it back up on October the 1st or 2nd. I have to look at my schedule, but we do play here at home again, which isn't a bad idea. It is warm in our gym, especially during this first 2 months of the season. So we'll hopefully come back when it's a little cooler. Marissa Sandoval puts the ball in play for Tabor, leading 9-8 here in the first set. Nice put away there by Dirksen. Tabor's expanding their lead a little bit here, leading 12-8 here in the first set. The Blue Jays are picked 10th in the preseason polls, and after watching this whole tournament this past weekend, seeing every school but one play in our conference, I think that KCAC is wide open this year. Ottawa does appear to have the strongest team from what I saw in the conference, and they are the only team ranked in the country out of the KCAC. But the Blue Jays, when they play and they're on, it looks like they can play with anyone, and they're proving that here today against Kansas Wesleyan. Sandoval serving with the Blue Jays up 14-8 here in set number 1. So far, so good for Tabor, looking pretty solid. That ball's deflected out of bounds off Tabor. Back over to Coyotes. Ortiz really backs up on that serve. And when he's playing up at Hutchinson this weekend in the big court, she was as far back as you could and just pounded the ball. Here she likes to back up as far as she can, but at Hutch she was probably that plus some. And Coyotes have seen enough, as Coach Cleveland will call a timeout as the Blue Jays have expanded their lead by 7 up on Kansas Wesleyan, 16-9. If you guys are listening on stretch and know some friends who went to the home camera on our website or to the live, that usually goes to YouTube. So we are having issues with YouTube right now. So if you do know friends that usually watch it on YouTube and you're on stretch, you might shoot them a text or let them know that flip on over to the stretch stream, as YouTube is having some issues right now. Once again, Tabor up 16-9 here in the first set over Kansas Wesleyan as Tabor looking good in the early going. (17-11) Tabor is KW on a little mini run right now after that timeout. Gave up 1 point, but came back and scored 3 of their own. Tabor needs to get a stop here as KW is starting to make a little rally. It's at 17-12. They're cutting into that Blue Jay lead. We had up to 7 or 8 points, and that'll help as the serve goes out and back over to Tabor. Talking a little bit about that parity earlier, the conference standings. Bethany and McPherson are at the top, both 3-1. Ottawa 2-1. St. Mary 2-2. Then you've got Bethel and York at 2-3. Then you've got 4 schools: Franz, Oklahoma Wesleyan, Sterling, and Tabor all at 1-3. Avila, Kansas Wesleyan, and Southwestern at 1-4. (19-14) Blue Jays, as Quirin will step back to put the ball into play for Tabor. Talking with Coach Ganawan earlier yesterday, he says, I'm not saying this because it's just my team, but I like this group of girls. He said this group of young ladies work hard, and he said, I really like them. And he's going to call a timeout right now and have a talk with them as Tabor is up 19-15 here in the first set. While we have this break, a little bit of their schedule coming up as Tabor will travel to Arkansas and play in the Lyon College at the PCS Panther Classic on the 30th at 2 o'clock, and they play William Baptist on the 30th at 6 o'clock. On the 31st, they're going to play Tougaloo College at 8 in the morning, and they'll wrap up play there in Arkansas at noon versus Central Baptist. And they'll be off for a week, and they will play at the Missouri Baptist Invitational on September 6th. And they'll play 2 matches, and then they'll go up to the 5 Points Bank Classic Tournament in Hastings on the 7th. Always check TaborBlueJays.com for all of the schedules of the Tabor athletic teams. If changes occur, they will be posted there and also tweeted out so you can follow right away. If you're wondering why you haven't got any tweets on stories lately, the vehicle that we use to do that is not making that connection right now. They know about it, they're working on it. It's a problem across the country, not just here. So the stories usually when they're posted and you get a tweet saying, you know, Tabor finishes whatever at the fall fling or whatever the tournament may be, the headline, that's not happening right now, but the avenue again that we use is aware of it and they're fixing it, so hopefully that will be up and running soon. So Kansas Wesleyan coming back and making it tight here in the first set. We'll see how this young Blue Jay squad responds as their 7-point lead is cut down to 3. Seems to me like they keep picking on the freshman to serve it to, but Sandoval, very solid player. She doesn't play like a freshman. And there we see Queering with that power she's known for. And the Wesleyan Coyotes knock it out of bounds. So it's going to be 20-16 Tabor. A little lineup question there. So the officials check with our score people. They have a new program they're using as well called Volley Right this year, that now that you no longer use paper book, it's all on a computer, which is good as long as the technology works. Kansas Wesleyan catching Tabor sleeping there and dink one over and in the hole. Tabor reacts a little late, can't quite get there. Puts the ball back over to Kansas Wesleyan. 20-17 now. Tabor still in the lead here in set number 1. Ortiz sets the ball up to Smith, who sets it. Graff knocks it over. That ball's going to be long. So far in this first set, we've seen a lot of, really a lot of unforced errors on both sides. We've seen some serving errors. We've seen some balls hit out by a long ways, but we've seen some good play as well, which is kind of what you'd expect here early in the season. A little bit of inconsistency. You see some good play. You see some play that you probably won't see late in the year when both clubs kind of get the rust off and really get going. Tabor up 22-17 down here in set number 1. Tell you, Sam Smith the other day, I was asking her how far she ran one set. On 1 point, she ran from the front, clear to the back to the front, back to the back to the front, and still put the ball in play, and we won the point. And pretty impressed with her effort. There she's on the floor. We have a set up. There's our freshman Sandoval. That's going to be in the net on Kansas Wesleyan. That's going to be point Blue Jays. 23-17 Tabor. As I see our new athletic director, Marty Seesmore, headed this way. He will be our first guest here of the year when we have a set break, and it's going to be coming pretty quick as Tabor's up 24-17. Got the crowd clapping here for the Blue Jays as that ball is out, and Tabor will take the lead and take the first set 25-17. As you see the teams change sides, I'm joined by the new athletic director of Tabor College, Marty Seesmore. Hope I got that right that time. Close enough. Okay, now I think he's good. Now we're here, and I got Marty on. So Marty, I know you came from Oregon.
That is correct.
Came
from Salem, Oregon.
Down here to Tabor. And what's one of the things you really enjoy about being here in Hillsboro?
Well, so far it's just a very welcoming community. The people are great, just very hospitable, and just enjoying working with everybody.
So I know you're our new athletic director here at Tabor, and I know you come and you've done some enrollment management. You've done some event things like at Oregon State, different things. The size of school difference between Oregon State to Tabor, it's got to be a little bit of a shock for you.
Yeah, Oregon State, for a football game, you're talking 30,000 people, and it's pretty chaotic at times. And here, not as many people, but probably different challenges or different excitement things that are happening to more relational, I should say.
Well, yeah. I know you've been on the job here since the first part of July for a couple of months now. What are you most looking forward to this fall as activities really start picking up?
Well, I think the big thing is when I got here, just a lot of information, trying to absorb and get involved. Now that the programs, the athletic games are starting, the teams are playing, I'm excited about just getting to a rhythm, following the teams, encouraging coaches, encouraging the players. I've enjoyed my interaction with the coaches and players thus far, and so I'm excited about supporting them.
And I've noticed that a lot. You're always talking to the guys when you pass them, a lot of the players, and you ask them, how's it going? What's the team looking like, whatever. So I know you're very into wanting to know what they're doing, and it seems like you really want to build relationships with them. And I know you're a soccer guy. You've been National Coach of the Year in women's soccer 1 year, so that's a pretty big feather in your cap there. But you've taken in a little bit of soccer. So what do you think of soccer going so far?
The one game I saw against Central Christian for the girls, the ladies, I should say, they played well, had kind of a little setback, but showed a little grit and determination, and got some goals in there, and shows what they can do once they put their mindset to it.
And what else? I know your wife is obviously here and works in the school system here, and she's our cheer sponsor for now, one of our cheer coaches. How'd you rope her into doing that?
We got her at a weak moment. No, I mean, it was one of those things that we really could use a good leader for that department, and she thought about it for a little bit after being asked, and decided okay. And she's actually enjoying investing in the lives. She's enjoying the relationship she's building with the females, so that's exciting for that opportunity.
Well, and just seeing how they're going to work with, and I know we've had some meetings about how they're going to work with the band and the cheerleaders working together, and with everybody, just make the events at Tabor enjoyable for everybody there. And so we're sure looking forward to that. So, well, Marty, we enjoy having you here. We're glad you're here. We know you're going to do a lot of really good things and bring some good ideas. And we thank you for taking a few minutes here to talk with us. And I'll let you get back and enjoy some volleyball.
Thank you for having me.
You bet. Not too bad.
So you pulled my shot here?
Somebody, I need somebody next. You pick somebody up. And we're back here to start the second set. And Kansas Wesleyan starts, hits the ball into the bottom of the net. That's one of those unforced errors I was talking about earlier. Earlier sometimes we saw the ball go out by several feet. That one didn't even come close to the top of the net. Again, things that will be cleaned up probably later in the year as teams really get moving. Tabor up 2-0 now with another error by the Coyotes as the attack goes into the bottom of the net. Sam Smith, hopefully we'll see if she can rattle off some points here for the Blue Jays. Tabor out to a quick 3-0 lead. As we see the ball about to get put play, I'd sure like to thank a lot of people who volunteer their time to come in the gym. We see the ball skim down the net and go out of bounds. Bad luck for the Blue Jays there. 3-1 Tabor as Wesleyan getting ready to serve. But we'd like to thank all the volunteers. We have students who come in and serve as ball rollers. We have people who work at the table. Obviously the officials are here. People like Jason Schrader and his crew need to set the gym up. Not sure what the hang-up is here. Looks like the official would like to have a door shut, as it looks like there's some light coming in. But we do have a lot of people who really, takes a lot of people to put on an event, and we really appreciate that. So tonight we're trying to get in some replays. This is the first time we've used our multi-camera system here with volleyball, and we're trying to get that going. So hopefully you'll bear with us as we work through that. We see Sandoval with the jump serve, sets it over to the Coyotes, and again, she's just a nice solid player we have as a freshman, going to be really good when all said and done. Four to 3 Tabor, as Wesleyan to put the ball in play again. That's number 4, Maddie Schmidt. Graf's attack is blocked. We have Dirkson's goes out as she pulls it just a little too far across and hits it out of bounds wide, right in front of the Coyote bench. Tied up 4-all. This is the first tie we've had in a while. Tabor kind of on a little bit of a roll now, as it was 4-4. Then Kansas Wesleyan got up 5-4. Now Tabor has rattled off 3 straight to go up 7-5. Dirksen going to put the ball in play for the Blue Jays. Nice serve down the right side. Tried the little surprise set over and did not surprise the Blue Jays that time, and they make the Coyotes pay with Queering hammering the ball down towards the back line off of a Wesleyan defender. And the lead is now 8-5, Tabor. We see Elizabeth Hardacre getting ready to check into the game for Isabel Hinkleday. Got a little question here with the score. Again, we are doing a new scoring system this year with the, it's not just a book, a paper, it's a computer. We had no issues at all with it, and most of the schools didn't when they've tried it out. Last weekend at the Fall Fling, there was a couple of hiccups with it. We have not had any issues until tonight. We just haven't, right now we've got a little bit of a delay, but we're good. Now we see the sub for the Coyotes. Coach Cleveland sends in a 6'1" player for a 6'2" player, so that seems a little unfair to me, all those big girls they have, but that's the way it goes, and it pays off right there. This ball ricochets off Tabor and goes backwards out of bounds, so it's 8-6 Tabor. So far, we've seen this Blue Jay team, whenever things have gotten tough, respond very well tonight. Let's hope they can keep that up. Nice attack there by number 20, Brittany Hebert, just checked into the game on the front row for Coach Ganowen, 5'11" sophomore from Gossel. As we see Graff serve, nice serve. Tabor now extends their lead by 4, 10-6 here in the second. Tabor won the first. Sure, we're going to have a timeout by Kansas Wesleyan before too long if this keeps up. Tabor now, again, it was 4-4, 5-4 Wesleyan, and now it's 11-6 Tabor as their confidence is growing. Call a double hit there on Smith. We'll put the ball back over to Kansas Wesleyan. 11-6 Tabor here in the second set. Some of the Tabor fans have dropped their fans as the Ron Braun and the advancement department has given out fans to keep people kind of cool here, and some of the Tabor students who are waving them and slipped out of their hand and went down close to the court, but no harm, no foul. Moving on. 11-9 Tabor. As Graff just misses, comes cross court from the right side, hits it out right in front of the Wesleyan bench. Kansas Wesleyan make a little run now as volleyball, everybody says, is a game of runs. And that serve goes out. Tabor up 12-10. Ganowen sends in number 5, Taylor Morrow, to come serve and give Quirin a little bit of a breather. You can hear in the background some of the Tabor students trying to cheer on the Blue Jays, and it works as Tabor comes up with the point, 13-10. Morrow will put the ball into play again. Morrow, 5'7" sophomore from Topeka, Kansas, a graduate of Washburn Rural High School. Hebert with the pass to Smith in the set, and Sandoval just hits it out. Really close, but it was long by a few inches. Good call there by Josiah Ray, the line judge. Sandoval doesn't miss that time as the ball is tipped. Yes, it was tipped and out of bounds. As we see Dirksen check back in for Hebert. They were, I believe, high school teammates at Gossel. A little quick set there by the Coyotes pays off. Pulls them back within one, 14-13. Double sub here by Kansas Wesleyan. We'll see if Tabor can hold them off here from tying up the contest. Back set to Dirksen. And not the prettiest of play, but Wesleyan does keep the ball alive, which that's what you do sometimes. We got a little double hit here on Wesleyan. 15-13 Tabor. And there was no whistle, but the ball I'm not sure what the call was there. I thought that was off of Tabor, but it looks like it's Tabor's point, 16-13, and they'll keep playing. The ball's out, but it was touched. It was deflected. 17-13 Blue Jays. They're trying to put this second set away and move up 2-0 on the night. Nice job there to keep the ball in, to keep it alive by Samantha Smith. That ball looked like it was going to be clearly out. And Wesley and Dove with a little bit of knew where they were on the court, little court awareness issue there. As she dove clearly out of bounds and hit the ball. 18-13 Tabor. Graff trying to put it away cross court. Once again, just a little too wide. She's tried that cross court shot a couple times now and not missing by much, but a little bit. And again, I think as the season wears along and you fine tune things, she'll find that rhythm. Definitely one of our leaders on our team. Senior from Corn Bible Academy in Corn, Oklahoma. Coyotes not going away, 18-15 Tabor here in set number 2. I know Coach Ganowan was really hoping this would be a KCAC match. He thought his team was ready to play, and he thought they would come out on top tonight. As you see him send Queering back in for Morrow. Sandoval puts the ball into play. Nice serve. There's a nice shot by Graff. She gives herself a little more room for error, hits it more to the middle off a Coyote defender, and we're going to have a timeout. We did not get to this earlier, so we're going to go ahead and pop up some of our graphics here with our Tabor starters. As you see, number 1, Samantha Smith, a 5'4" senior from Greeley, Colorado. Number 2, Marissa Sandoval, 5'6" freshman from Albuquerque, New Mexico. One of our seniors, number 4, Marissa Graff, 5'10" senior from Corn, Oklahoma. Taylor Query, number 11. Sophomore from Bradshaw, Nebraska, coming in at 5'9", plays bigger than that usually. Olivia Dirksen, number 16, is a junior, 6-foot hitter from Gossel, Kansas. Brittany Hebert, number 20, also from Gossel, 5'11", sophomore. And our libero, number 13, the other starting seniors, Monet Ortiz from Lakewood, Colorado. Coach Ganowan is our head coach in his first year. Come to us from being an assistant coach and also work with USA Volleyball. Tisha Worth, who has been with this program for several years and seen many head coaches. And then you see Tiana Frizzell, who is our first-year graduate assistant, who was a very good player for us last year. Not pictured was our manager, Allison Chris. She does a lot of work for our team as well. But that was our Tabor starters. We want to get those up there for you now that we've kind of gotten things going. Sandoval back to serve again with Tabor up by 5, 20-15. Last time KW called the timeout at work. This time it does give the ball back to them off the deflection out of bounds. 20-16. as Coach Cleveland sends in Hardacre, once again the 6'4" freshman from Kensington, Kansas, to play on the front row. Nice shot by Aquarian. Beautiful set by Samantha Smith. Right in the wheelhouse of Aquarian, who puts the ball straight down with authority, puts the Blue Jays up 21-16. Dirksen sends it over for Tabor. See if Tabor can take advantage of this free ball here. You see Graff and Hebert get up to block, but it does go out of bounds. Point Wesleyan, 21-17 Tabor. If we can get to that 23 quickly, that seems to always put pressure on the other team. See if we can get the ball here. Nice pass by Queering to Smith, back set to Graff. There, Marissa found the rhythm. Nice cross court. Again, giving herself a little more room to get the ball in that time. Wesleyan can't get to it, 22-17 Blue Jays. Nice shot there by Hebert. Comes across her body, puts the ball away from right to left. Tabor up 23-17. That ball is going to be out, not touched. 24-17 match point, set point for the Blue Jays. That would put them up 2-0. And I'll be joined here at this break by Tabor men's head basketball coach and one of our assistant athletic director, Micah Ratzlaff. Coach Ratzlaff will be joining us. He's not an assistant athletic director. He does do some site supervision, administrative things for us. So I need to correct that, but he'll be joining us here at this break. Tabor up 24-19. Again, Coyotes won't go away. Coach Ganau, and he's decided he's going to call a timeout. And he's just going to try to break their momentum right now, up 5. Tonight's officials up top in the R1 position is Colin Chapman from Oklahoma City. And our R2 down on the floor helping our table people out is Janet Johnston. So we really appreciate their effort. We see several of our people, Tina Lowen and Kaylee Cross, working the table for us. Riley Blue Lindstad is running our computer. And then we have Lance Carter and his crew doing stats. Carol Hunt's our administrator here today. So we got a lot of people there. Is now out of the timeout. Tabor leading 24-19. We'll see if the timeout pays off immediately. Is a nice set for. Oh, they're going to call a Blue Jay in the net. So it's 24-20 Tabor. Let's see if we get a put away right here. (24-21). Kansas Wesleyan coming back a point at a time. Once again, this young Tabor team, we'll see how they respond here. Nice pass by Hebert. Sam catches them off guard a little bit. They can't do anything with it. Ball back over to Tabor. And that's a nice shot by Hebert and out. So Tabor comes away with the second set, 25-21, and they pull ahead 2-0. As I am joined by Micah Ratliff here, if he can figure out this new fancy headset we have here, if he can figure out how to put that on. Said we're joined here by Micah Ratliff, our head men's basketball coach. And Coach, I know season really hasn't started yet, but guys are in workouts and everything. And what have you seen so far just in conditioning and stuff, besides guys probably some in shape, not in shape?
Yeah, it's been a good start. Getting everybody here and getting going again, it's pretty exciting. Kind of letting them get in the flow of their class schedule and some of that stuff. Haven't touched the basketball much. Yeah, we've had them on the track, weight room, all those type of workouts have started, and everything's good. I mean, they're just working their tails off. That's what we ask, and we're excited.
That's good. I know when you signed this class this year, and I send out all your LOIs and everything, I know they're going, but you signed quite a few kids from Kansas this year.
Yeah.
Seems like maybe a few more than you did last year, I think, but was that kind of an effort on your part?
Yeah, I mean, we definitely, I think, hit the road a little bit harder just in the state, especially. And then, you know, we got a couple kids out of it, and good kids, good in the classroom. They can actually play basketball a little bit. So, yeah, they're just really, really eager. Those guys are excited about Tabor, and we're excited about having it be in-state kids. We want to get as many of those as we possibly can. So,
if you see, there's Micah. We're still getting used to this double camera thing here, so they're catching us off guard there, Coach. But
you're good.
I noticed also that you guys went and helped our new AD Marty move in.
Yeah.
Kind of as a service project. How'd that go?
Yeah, I think somehow everybody's throwing our name around that we're up for hire when it comes to moving people. But no, we're glad to do it. We helped with the softball coach, Marty, our athletic director, all day, all afternoon, and all evening last night. So. Yeah, we're glad to help, you know, when we have the time, and we have enough guys that we can kind of spread that out a little bit. So, yeah.
Well, I know this Friday, I think I've talked to Grant about going helping Jason Schrader move some paper in, big load of paper. So maybe you'll get a break from that, or who knows?
Yeah,
your guys might see him doing that, and you might jump in.
That's already been brought up to us also, so it's all good. We'll help out any which way we can.
Well, that's one good thing, you know, I think a lot of our coaches here at Tabor try to do is get them involved in the community. I know a lot of you guys go do reading programs at the grade schools. When does that start, Coach?
Yeah, it'll I mean, I think she does it kind of by, like, if you're in season, she'll try to stay away from you, you know, a little bit. When I say she, Dr. Hunt kind of sets that up. Yeah, we'll have one probably in the next month, and then we'll probably have another one in the spring.
Okay.
So we'll go to Marion one time or even twice sometimes, and then we'll do the same thing at Hillsborough Elementary, and that's a really neat program that's kind of been set up, about, 4 or 5 years ago?
Right.
Yeah, it's been good.
Well, and one more question, we'll let you go here, but
no,
I know you've talked about your team a little bit, and I know you're looking to kind of put a few more W's on the board this year. Last year's a little struggle for you, which you usually haven't, but you think these new guys coming in, if they gel pretty quickly, you guys should be all right in that aspect? Or?
Yeah, I think we're really solid. You know, without seeing a whole lot of basketball yet, I think we have a chance to be really, really solid. And then, you know, where you go from there is you know, up or down. But I think we're already solid. They're good kids. They want to do things the right way, and we're not getting any pushback from even one or two kids, because that can spread. You know what I mean? So
right.
They're hungry. They're willing to work. And I'm excited to coach that attitude.
Right.
Know? So I'm excited for that. It'll be
good.
Well,
you know, I've coached a long time as well, and you know that. And attitude is a bunch. That can overcome a lot of things. Bad attitude can really hurt talented teams, and a good attitude can help teams that maybe aren't quite as talented, you know, be more pleasure to coach and also get you some more wins.
For sure. Attitude's a big deal, and we're trying to push that as hard as we possibly can and track that. And, you know, if it's not going the way we want, there needs to be some type of you know, other side to that, whether it's some type of consequence, and, you know, say this isn't how we're going to do things. So we're really headed in that direction, and we're going to continue to do that.
Well, again, we've been visiting with head basketball coach on the men's side here at Tabor, Micah Ratliff, and we appreciate that. And hopefully the ladies here, you know, they've looked good. You know, everybody expects them not to do so well this year by the preseason being picked 10 and KW receiving votes in the country, and we've kind of handled them the first 2 sets.
Yeah, no, I haven't seen a lot. I didn't go to Hutch either day because we were busy, but so far they look like they really, really want it. They look like they want it a little bit more than KW right now. Hopefully they can do it for one more match.
Yeah, that'd be good. I know talking with Coach Ganell, and he said, you know, I really like this group, and he said it's not because they're just my group, but he said I like this group of young ladies, and he said, you know, there's adjustment period for me and for them.
Sure.
But he's really high on. He said he loves their effort, and he loves how they're working. So hopefully we'll be able to put something together. But Coach, we thank you for visiting with us a little bit.
Thank you. You guys do a fantastic job.
All right,
always.
Thank you. We do the best we can. So thanks a lot.
Yep. Thank you.
You bet. We're back with you here live at Tabor College Gymnasium as Wesleyan playing with a little more urgency. It looks like this set up 4-2 on Tabor. Tabor's pulled the first 2 sets and pulled them out. They've really used a couple of runs each set to kind of separate a little bit and then just kind of held that cushion. So let's see again if they can bounce back here down early, 4-2. It'd sure be nice to get a win and do it in 3 and be done for the night. I know the ladies have a long weekend coming up. They'll be leaving tomorrow right after lunch to travel to Arkansas to play early on Friday and Saturday. So I'm sure they want to play, but I'm sure they'd also like to get things over so they can get some rest and get ready to go there. Quick set there by Sam. And that by Dirksen is called out. It looks to me like they've been trying to hit the ball to our freshman, Marisol Sandoval, quite a bit on serves, and she's not disappointed on Tabor's side. She's not been sinking balls, doesn't look nervous. She's making nice quality passes to our setters. And now we see Monet Ortiz with that serve again, where she likes to go clear in the back as far as she possibly can get. That time a little short. 4-6 now in favor of the Coyotes as Ortiz's serve goes into the net. Once again, if you are watching, that means you're on stretch. You found the stretch stream, and YouTube is not working tonight, so hopefully the word will spread. We'll put something out about flipping over to stretch. (7-4) Coyotes. Good pass by Quering. Smith was a set back to Quering. The ball's blocked it back over. Point Blue Jays, 8-5 KW. Like I said earlier, KW playing with a little more urgency as they're up 9-6 here in the third over the Blue Jays. Tabor gets that one back as Morrow back to serve now for Tabor. Puts the ball over and in play. Nice serve, died there right about mid-court. (11-7). KW's kind of got that 4-point lead, kind of hanging right around 3 to 4 points here. We need to see if Tabor can get it back here. Sandoval with a good attack. Tabor looking just a little slower this set than they were the first two, down 12-7. And we'll have a timeout. Coach Ganawan's going to try to get this momentum stopped right now. We mentioned earlier, volleyball is such a momentum game. Goes back and forth. Before you know it, you've either gained or lost 5 points. Such a game of momentum. You see there Coach Ganawan trying to encourage the ladies, tell them kind of, hey, this is what we got to do. We got to get over here in position. We got to do this. We're looking just a little bit behind the ball right now. How teams respond a lot of times is going to tell you about how their year's going to go. After the Tabor timeout, KW puts the ball back into play. Hebert with that cross-court shot. Sandoval, nice shot. KW in the net, ball back over to Tabor as they pick up another point now, cutting into that Coyote lead. Again, Tabor has won the first 2 sets over the Wesleyan Coyotes from Salina. Again, they're picked at the top of the conference in the preseason polls, receiving votes nationally. Tabor picked at 10th, not receiving votes, and Tabor's actually kind of handled in the first 2 sets. As we see Ortiz come back in for Hebert. (13-9) as Smith puts the ball in play for the Blue Jays. She's rattled off a couple for us the last couple sets, but this time the dink over by the Coyotes falls on the court on Tabor's side. Nice placement there by Dirksen. As we see Query checking back in for Morrow for the Blue Jays. As you see the replay there, again, we're using our replay technology tonight. Serve is out by Sandoval, but we will be, for the most part, all the varsity matches here with volleyball. We're going to try a couple different camera angles. We will have instant replay and graphics this year for our volleyball team. So bear with us as we work out some of those kinks as well, trying to see what angles we need to go at to bring you the best viewing experience possible. It was a nice shot there by Dirksen, was off of the Coyotes, and Tabor trying to cut into this Kansas Wesleyan lead. Ortiz going to put the ball in play for Tabor, trailing by 4, 11-15. Ball was out, but tipped by Tabor at the net. Wesleyan doing a good job of just maintaining this 16-11 lead now, maintaining this 4 to 5 point lead. Tabor will get it down to maybe 3, but it goes right back to 4 or 5, and it's kind of where it's staying. Once again, we see Hebert with good placement. This set, Tabor's not hitting the ball as hard as consistently, but they are placing the ball. So however you can get the points on the board. 12-16 Coyotes. Graff puts the ball in play. Nice shot by Graff. Earlier in the match, your attacks cross court were going wide, and she's made an adjustment, whatever that was, and has now put her last 2 or 3 in play and down for the Blue Jays. So you see the senior there making a little adjustment, as you'd expect her to do. Morrow puts the ball in play for Tabor, trailing 13-17. Point Tabor, 14-17. Okay, we're going to use a little momentum here, see if we can get one at a time. Who's in the background, you can probably hear the Let's Go Blue Jay chants by our students. They're trying to pump the Blue Jays up here. Nice job by Graff and Morrow to get out of the way of that. It was pretty close, but it was out by about 10 inches to a foot. Tabor crawling back in at 16-18, but ball out on the deflection. Kansas Wesleyan back up 16-19, back up 3, but Tabor has cut it down from 5 to 3. As the lefty for the Coyotes puts the ball in play again to hit it to Sandoval. 17-19 Tabor. Sam Smith, one of our seniors, puts it in play. Wesleyan does get the point though, as it was touched on the net. Ball landed out, but was touched. 3-point lead for the Coyotes, 20-17. Tabor Time running out here in this set. We really need to. Nice play by the freshman. See if we can take care of this one right here. Ball is out. (20-18). Coyotes still lead. The Tabor now within 2 as Queering comes back in on the front row for Morrow. Sandoval going to put the ball in play for Coach Ganallen's squad. The block there by Dirksen and Queering, but it does land behind them on the Tabor side. 21-18 Coyotes. See if the Blue Jays can dig deep right here, 1 point at a time, and get back in this. Nice pass by Ortiz and set by Smith. Dirksen with the put away. Again, she likes that cross body, swinging her arm cross body, going one way, hitting it back the other way, has been very effective. (19-21), KW on top here in set number 3. Once again, Tabor has won the first first two sets. We see Ortiz backing up. Again, she likes to have a lot of room, puts it into play. Couldn't quite take care of the ball that was over. And Tabor deflects it out of bounds, 19-22. And a costly mistake there by the Coyotes as that ball sails long. 22-20. KW. As one of our seniors, Marissa Groff, going to put the ball into play. Nice serve. That's going to be 21-22. Blue Jays coming back. This lead was up to 5. Now down to 1. And Coach Cleveland decides he's seen enough. Going to call a timeout. 22-21 Wesleyan. We'll be back here in just a second as Tabor will have the serve. We're back with you here live at Tabor Gymnasium on this Wednesday evening. Once again, Tabor has won the first 2 sets over Kansas Wesleyan, and it's 21-22. Tabor has come back from 5 down in this set to get within 1 at a critical time. And once again, the timeout by KW pays off. 23-21 Coyotes with number 26 Haley Shannon back to serve. Back row set to Graff. Tabor fighting just to keep it in play. We saw a lot of that this weekend at Hutch. Very scrappy. Don't give up. As there, the ball hit something. Let's see if Tabor can put this away with Queering. Gets a good swing on it, but deflected up high. Very good point there by both teams. Wesleyan got the break there on the deflection out of bounds. Set point KW, 24-21. As Coach Ganal is going to try to ice the server here, the equivalent to icing the kicker in football, calling the timeout. Once again, very good crowd. I see a lot of the different sport teams across the way here to support the volleyball team. That's always good. The more people you can come out and support you, the better. Definitely an uphill battle for the Blue Jays in this set. They're going to have to string several together here. Let's see if they can start with this one right here. Nice attack by Hebert, goes across. And KW puts that one away. They're going to win set number 3, 25-21. Tabor still with a 2-1 lead over the Coyotes here at Tabor. Next guest of the evening, joined in here by Mr. Rod Ham, the Director of Alumni Relations. Is that the official title you have here, Ham?
Director of Alumni Relations is the exact title, but most people just say Alumni Director.
Well, I got it right. I gave you your official,
there you go,
sounding better title, if that's good English. Hope Aline Rassif isn't paying attention, or Dawn right now.
Yeah, we don't know. I just got through having a chicken sandwich from Courtside Grill with some fries and a Dr. Pepper. Delicious and nutritious.
The Courtside Grill's been a step up for us, hasn't it, starting last year?
Absolutely. Nice big area. Pretty cool. If you haven't been here, you ought to get to campus. Speaking of getting to campus, homecoming, October 18 and 19 this year. We're doing some new things, hopefully to kind of enhance the experience of homecoming. And you probably don't know about this yet, so this will be news to you. But we're bringing in 2 food trucks for a little variety on the food. Not everybody enjoys the Dutch lunch like I do. I'm a pretty big fan of the Verenica and sausage and ham gravy, but that's not for everybody. And so we're bringing in Freddy's food truck and another truck from Newton called Taco Mike's. So you have your choice of food. You just, whatever you want to order, you order it. You can get there'll be kids menu as well. So
now that's not the taco truck from Newton. That's usually parked by the Dillons, is it?
That's a different one.
Okay, I've eaten at that one. That's very good. Come from Western Kansas. We know what real Mexican food trucks taste like, and they're very good, and that one at Newton was good. So hopefully this one will be just as good. But yeah, I was going to ask you about that, so I'm glad you gave us kind of a rundown of homecoming. I know that, you may not know about this, but I know that Luke Rensher, the new tennis coach, is really sending out stuff, trying to get players to come back. And
I didn't know about that.
We're getting older and a little heavier and a little slower, and so we're going to do a doubles day, which is going to be great. I think we need to play triples myself, but
well, I talked to him a few months ago about the possibility of pickleball for some of us even older people.
That would be great as well. But so yeah, we got that coming up. I know this weekend you and I are traveling down to Sagu to watch the football team, and we got a little something going on there. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the football team plays down in Waxahachie, Texas against Southwestern Assemblies of God University, and so we're going to go down a little bit early, just a few miles from the Lumpkin Stadium. I don't know who that is, but it's the high school stadium there, and it seats 10,000 people. We're going to go down early, and at 4 o'clock at Tamales Mexican Kitchen. It's a Mexican restaurant. We're going to have a get-together for football parents that are there to see their kids and alumni in the area. So I've had some phone calls and sent out some emails and called some people, and we should have a pretty good group there.
So I'm sensing a theme here. We're going to a Mexican restaurant. You got a Mexican truck coming in for homecoming. Is that your favorite food?
And Freddy's. Well, when you think about food trucks, you don't have a lot of options. I mean,
yeah, exactly. Well, the volleyball team here, this is probably the first chance you've got to see them play. I watched them in the scrimmage. They look good against Barton County. They looked really good at times over in the fall fling, playing a really tough group over there. Went 1-3, but you know, what's your thoughts so far on what you've seen tonight?
Well, what I've seen has been a pleasant surprise. I shouldn't say surprise, but we didn't have a ton of returners coming back from last year's team, and we lost some key players, and so they're just doing fantastic. Really impressed with the leadership from the upperclassmen, Marissa Groff and the Dirksen, and Dirksen.
Sam Smith, our setter.
Sam Smith, yeah. So those girls are doing a great job, and then some of the new girls pitching in here. Sandoval has been I didn't know anything about her, just saw practice one day, and so she impressed me in practice, and she's done just as well here in the game tonight.
Well, you know, I mentioned earlier that they sure have served to her over the first 3 sets a lot. And a lot of times you're trying to serve, you know, to maybe a weaker player or whatever, but she's put the ball right where it needs to be pretty much, and doesn't play like a freshman. She played really well last weekend.
Yeah, and the Hebert girl from Gossel, the Queering from Nebraska, they're both. Hebert didn't play much last year. Was she hurt maybe and didn't play much?
Not for sure.
And then Queering has come back and stronger. It looks like she's stronger than last year. Got a year under her belt, so. No, I'm very impressed. KW, I believe, picked #1 in the conference.
Well,
I picked at the top.
Picked at the top with Ottawa, and they are receiving votes in the country. And yeah, picked towards the top. And I mentioned that a couple times too. Mentioned that, you know, they're picked where they are, and we're picked more towards about 10th.
Yeah.
And we've really handled them the first 2 sets. Now the last set was a little different story. We were playing from behind in this set 3-1. We're down right now. But, yeah, I agree with you. A good surprise maybe, or just good to see him out there competing and playing well.
Yeah, so hopefully we can kind of pull it together here in this set we're in right now. This is the 4th set, I believe, and hopefully we can pull it together, and be nice to – I hate it for it to come down to that 5th set.
Yeah, you know, we played William Penn over there, and we won the first one and the third one, and end up losing in 5. So hopefully we can – come back here and put it away, but we're going to get on the balls. We're down 5-1. So real quick before you go, any other alumni news coming up that we need to be aware of, or anything at all, or have you covered pretty much what's happening in the near future?
Yeah, I think that pretty well covers it. There was a couple other things I was going to mention about homecoming. There's a group of football players that 50 years ago, they were the first varsity football team. They weren't the first football team, but they were the first varsity football team, and there's a group of about 20 of them coming back for this year for homecoming, and there's also a pretty good group from the 40-year class coming back. And the 40-year class, you might remember, yeah, you're a little younger than me, but in '79 was the first winning season. And so
was that Kerry Dennison playing on that
Kerry Dennison
team, right?
in that team, Rod Wallace, some of those guys, Mark Sandel. So there's a Henry Berry, Jim Elam, so there's a pretty good group of those guys coming back. Jerry Noble, I don't know if you remember him.
I remember Jim, obviously.
Yeah, so there's some names from the past, and so that's a big group, and so we'll do the usual things. The bounce houses will be out in the lawn this year instead of the rec center. We're going to try to do everything kind of centralized here in the middle of the campus. And of course, the homecoming musical this year, She Loves Me. It's an older version of the modern day You've Got Mail.
Okay.
That's how it was described to me by the new theater director. So
good. Well, it sounds like always, you're doing a good job of lining things up for homecoming, and I know you work hard at doing that and getting people back and doing different activities, and we sure appreciate that. And hopefully this weekend we'll have a big crowd down there at Waxahachie, Texas, and hopefully our food bill will be big because we have a lot of people there. And
that's right.
And but yeah, we appreciate what you do with that, and glad having you on. And you know, one other thing to mention about you, some people may not know, is you're the voice of the Lady Blue Jays in soccer on the stream, and you do our women's basketball during the basketball seasons. We appreciate that as well as make all this happen.
I know just a little bit more about soccer than I do about volleyball, and a little bit more about basketball than soccer, so I think I'm almost qualified.
Well, there you go, and you're about ready to take over volleyball in the near future.
No,
I think so.
No, I don't think so.
But well, we appreciate you stopping by, Rod, and hopefully this is the last interview we have to do, because if we can pull this out, we will call it good. But if not, I may let Rod go pick somebody to come up here and talk to me the next set. But thanks for stopping by, Rod.
You betcha.
Back with you here again, visiting with Rod Ham, the alumni director, as he said, most people call it, but he's the director of alumni relations. As we got done visiting with Rod. So hopefully you guys will be able to take care of the alumni. When you come back, if you're an alum, take care of visiting campus and seeing things. We'll be glad to have you back. And we see Tabor trying to cut back into this lead, and that'll help as Tabor back within 3, 9-6, and it'll be their serve. Coach Ganowan has been switching Morrow for Queering a little bit here and there the last few sets. He's going to let Queering stay in and put the ball into play. Tabor down 3. As the ball is deflected just enough where Groff couldn't handle that. She was playing a little more to the left, and the deflection shot it back to the right. She couldn't quite get the adjustment. Good effort by Marissa. 10-6 Coyotes. Tabor has won the first 2 sets. And Wesleyan kind of picked it up the last set and got ahead, and Tabor got it back close there to within 1, but couldn't pull it out. Now they're digging themselves a little bit of a hole here, down 6-11. Wesleyan got a 6-point lead. I think that's about the biggest lead they've had this evening, and that'll help as they hit one into the net. So far, very good showing, though, overall for the Blue Jays. A little bit of the height advantage that Wesleyan has is taken over at times. Volleyball, again, is a game of runs. It's a game of matchups. Can you get the setter out? Who do you have up hitting against who? A lot of things goes into successful night, and right now it's 14-7 Coyotes. And there we have Dirksen with that crossbody attack again. Again, she likes to go and really swing across body and bring that ball back the other direction, swinging from right to left a lot. Smith puts the ball in play, down 6, now down 5, 14-9 now as Tabor trying to climb back in this one. Tabor on a mini run here, 10-14, cut that lead down to 4. Another good serve by Sam. Almost threw the old change up there as Dirksen really went to swing hard, and timing was off just a little bit, but it worked great as she had the full swing. Just caught the ball enough to send it over through Wesleyan off, and we're down 3, 14-11. About 3 times this set where the deflection has come right behind the blockers, and the defender behind just couldn't quite get there to put the ball up and into play. Wesleyan to serve now at 15-11 here in set number 4. Good put away by Groff. Once again, if you're just joining us, this is our first evening of graphics, replays, multiple cameras here for the volleyball squad. Again, that's going to be something we're going to keep trying to improve each week. as I'm sure the girls will watch it and give us some ideas, which would be great. As we started this system last year, put it into play a little bit, and now trying to move it into more and more of our sports here on campus. The serve goes long by Sandoval. Blue Jays had cut it down to 2, but now that puts it back up to 3 for KW. 16-13 here in set number 4. There's number 8, Emily Monson. She's only a freshman from Cheney, Kansas. She gave us some fits the last set, serving-wise, and Coach Ganallen's going to go ahead and take a timeout right here, right away. Tabor down 13-17 here in set number 4. I'd like to thank our cameraman, Luke Bowman, for filling in up tonight and running the what we call the hero camera, the tight camera, as he's new here, volunteering to do this for us. We have Micah Rickert. He's an old hand now. We call him up in the studio, working with Mike Jameson and Chris Glanzer up in the studio. So between those three, the two down here, plus all of our people on the table, just to put this production on for you guys back home, takes quite a few hands, and we really appreciate all their effort. Back to action, 17-13 KW. See what the Blue Jays have in store coming out of the timeout. Nice play by Queering. Tell you, when she gets up and gets that arm loaded and really gets her timing down, there's not a lot you can do about it. She hits the ball very hard, very well. That's a nice block back over in play. That ball's going to sail wide. 17-15. Kansas Wesleyan, as Tabor is starting to crawl back in little by little, down 2. They've cut into this 6 or 7 point lead that Kansas Wesleyan built up. Now let's see if we can take advantage here. Graff. That ball was really close, called out. 18-15 Coyotes. Tabor's up overall 2-1. Tabor catches a break there, cuts the lead 16-19. As Groff is back to serve. Nice serve over on the right side, ball set up behind. Hebert trying to place it, didn't quite get it where she wanted. And there's Queering lining up again with that. Good hustle by KW, as that looked like it was going out of play. And they can't get to this one as Hebert puts it down across her body. in the middle of the court, and it's 17-19, and KW wants a timeout. In this critical fourth set, Tabor can either put this away or it's going to go to a fifth. 19-17 KW. And we got Rod Ham coming back to give us some more words of wisdom.
Hey, I forgot to mention something that in the advancement office we're doing new this year. Is the first time we've ever tried this. The first annual J Day of Giving. It's one of those online, you go online and you give to Tabor College. We're going to roll that out in about a week. It's going to roll out with videos and all on different social media avenues. And what we're trying to do with this J Day of Giving is to encourage mass participation. So if you've given before, give now. If you've never given, give to Tabor College. This is going to go to Tabor Now campaign, which is for scholarships and operations at Tabor College. And this is something that we just thought we'd try, and we really are optimistic about it. So I just wanted to throw that out there to all those people out there listening tonight.
That'd be a great way to get involved here at Tabor. And what's the name of that one more time, Rod?
J Day of Giving.
The J Day of Giving. So
and
look
it's
for that coming out.
10-4. That's hard. It's easy to remember. October 4, October 3 and 4, but it's mainly 10-4.
10-4. So
10-4.
Well, 10-4, good buddy, and hopefully we'll raise some funds.
Absolutely.
And we appreciate that. Thanks,
right.
Rod. The ball was tipped. So that's going to go back over to Tabor, down 18-19, or back to Tabor will serve again, 18-19, as Groff going to put the ball back in place, staying on that right side of the court. And tied up, 19 all, and definitely could have had a yellow card there. As the Wesleyan player upset, slams the ball down, nothing given, and we'll play on. 19-19, Tabor trying to end this thing in this set. Don't want to go a fifth set. Good job by Queering, and Smith just out of the reach of Sandoval trying to knock it over. It's 20-19. We'll see if Tabor can respond here. Sometimes you get that far and get close, you don't get ahead. Mentally, it's a little tough. Hopefully here we'll see some mental toughness out of our Blue Jays. They'll dig down deep right here and get it back and tie it up. 20-19 Coyotes on top here in the fourth set, trying to push it to a fifth as Tabor leads 2-1. Tabor's got another chance here. Let's put this away. And Sandoval does. Once again, the freshman playing like an upperclassman. Goes ahead and takes a swing from about mid-court. Puts it over and in. Ganawan's going to let Queering stay on the serve here, 20-20. Tabor can pull ahead here. It would be huge mentally. Nice serve by Queering. That ball did not hit anybody, but they said it did. Back over. Tabor's up 21-20. Queering going to try serving from the back left side this time. Shoots it back in the same spot to the middle. It almost looks like in volleyball anymore, if you don't just grab it and throw it down, they're not going to call any kind of carry or anything. Maybe that's just the rule now. 21-21, ball back to KW to serve. See if we can dig down one more time here and get ahead. Nice hit by Hebert, blocked by KW, but it's deep. Tabor up 22-21, key point right here. 23-21's big, 22-22 is big the other way. So let's see what we can do here. Nice serve by Hebert. Tabor has a chance here, take advantage. Sandoval winds up, hits it back over the deep side of the Coyotes. Nice play by KW, 22-22. And they'll be serving again. You see Quirin can do it all. She can hit the ball, wipe the floor up. It's a jack of all trades out there. Ball going to be put into play by Wesleyan, tied up 22-22 in this fourth set. Tabor leads 2-1. Won the first two, lost the third set. (23-22) KW, a very key point here. See if Tabor can tie it up. Tabor spent a lot of energy coming down from 6 or 7 down to take the lead, now to trail by 1. Hopefully they can put it away as Groff hits it. Nice job by Marissa. Tied up. Now we got a real key point. It's going to be match point one way or the other after this ball is out of play. And we have, in my opinion, one of our better servers, Sam Smith, up. She's just nice and solid. Seems like we do pretty well when she's serving, and I say that, and she hits it out. I jinxed her there. 23-24 KW. Blocked up in the air, but the ball lands on Tabor's side. 25-23 KW in that fourth set. We will go to a fifth set. It's Tabor, the last two sets have just had to battle from behind and got close and just couldn't get over the hump. Well, we're going to go to a fifth set here. Tabor won the first two, KW won the last two, and I'm joined here by our head women's basketball coach and no longer interim athletic director, as I think he would agree that he feels better about that now. He did Sean Reed, and he did a great job with us last year as our interim AD. Sean, you got to enjoy hopefully having a little more time to yourself and your family now.
Yeah, I told my wife I feel like when I get home before 10 o'clock I feel guilty. So yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. It was a great experience last year, but Marty Ziesmer, our new AD, is going to do a great job, and I'm just happy to support him and his first year and get back to basketball full time.
Yeah, speaking of basketball, I know you you have a bunch of new faces in this year. Last year you lost, I think, one of the winningest class, if not the winningest class in Tabor women's history. And it's sad to see them go for me for different reasons, and for you, I'm sure, but yet exciting to bring in a new group and see what they can do.
Yeah, we we had 5 seniors last year that had been a part of our program for 4 years, and I think in this day and age that's really rare.
Right.
To maybe not have 5 seniors, but to have 5 of them that were with your program from start to finish. And so yeah, we're definitely going to miss them, but we've got 15 new faces along with some good returners that were a part of a really good team last year, like Sammy Jo Peterson, Kylie Weber, Taryn Hoyt. They all played quite a bit last year. And then people like Anna Wilkin, she's going to have a chance to get on the court a little bit this year, hopefully. And Ashton Wiebe played last year. Lily Schamberger made a ton of improvement in JV. Lainey Swink is somebody that, got better last year, and Tara Nelson. So, they're all going to play along with a really talented recruiting class.
Yeah, Coach, they keep giving this camera to us on the side up here on this multi-camera, which we're not used to. But yeah, you mentioned several of those players there, and I know you have some new transfers in as well that you're looking forward to seeing what they can do. And one thing I wanted to talk to you about real quick was, you guys do so many things away from campus, and this summer you had some of your former players and current players. You mentioned Taryn and Anna went to the Philippines and Thailand on a mission trip with some of the former players. Speak about that just a little bit on the impact that has on your team, both spiritually and on the court.
Oh, yeah, that's a tremendous opportunity that we do through Multiply, which is an MB mission organization. And, you know, Ricky Sanchez has been kind of somebody that has led that. And we've done that, I think, 3 different times. And we had current, as you said, and former players like Morgan and Tina Lowen went. And Tass, who played for us, of course, her dad kind of helps set that up. And it's just a great opportunity for them to go into another culture, present the gospel through the game of basketball, and, you know, to witness to people. But really the impact it has on their personal lives when they come back is just tremendous. And it pays, you know, even though they're going out to serve, I think it serves them as much, and it pays dividends for our program. And you know, the spiritual growth that they have is manifested in a lot of ways. I know, like, Anna's running our team building life groups, and they're going to have that tomorrow night. And I think she and Taryn will probably share some of their experiences from this summer.
Well, I've talked to both of them a little bit about it. The only thing they both said is that, man, it was just awesome. It was a great time. So I know that, you know, for Morgan, my daughter, who played for you, and she went 2 different times, and she served as the captain with Tina this summer, which is a spiritual captain more than anything else.
Yeah.
It made a huge impact on her life. So those are trips well worth taking. I know they do it with a variety of sports, I believe. Or there's others, you know, that they can do. So anybody who's out there thinking, man, is it worth it? I would say talk to one of them. It definitely is.
Absolutely. And I'm sure we have some people that gave of their resources to allow people like Morgan and Tina and Taryn and Anna and Tass to go. And I just want to thank them publicly for, you know, giving of their resources to allow that kind of experience to happen.
Yeah, it takes a lot of funds that needs to be raised, and then they go. But like you said, I think the reward even back to them, you know, for those of us who've gone on mission trips, you go with that attitude of going to serve and whatever, but you actually get ministered to.
Yeah.
So in volleyball here, let's talk about that a little bit. Up 2-0 this 5th and deciding set. I know I had Rod Ham up, and we talked a little bit about, you know, how they're doing right now with a lot of new faces and some young players and new coach. You know, had a good showing this weekend. Record-wise, wasn't, you know, 1-3, but had some good matches against some good teams, and looking here pretty good tonight against a top preseason top team in our conference, KW. What have you thought about our ladies tonight?
I think we've looked really well. You know, we had a little lull there in the game 3 and lost some momentum, but you know, we're fighting and battling, and the thing that's encouraging is this is early and they're not near as good as they're going to be in even 2 or 3 weeks. So, you know, I think for Coach Gunawan in his first year, I'm really encouraged. You know, this is a traditionally good Kansas Wesleyan squad, so I think we're doing well and fighting hard. So,
well, you know, we're up 3-1 here in this set, and you know, if you look at their schedule, it's similar to your basketball scheduling. I know you'll play anybody, and you have some tough teams on there. Maybe you win them, maybe you don't, but you find a lot about your team, you know, playing tough teams, and then when they come back to teams that aren't quite as good, you know, maybe you can play and have some confidence. But what about that on the scheduling? On scheduling tougher teams like Marshall has this year for our team, how will that benefit these ladies later?
Well, you just got to get through it and keep your head above water. I'm a firm believer that in the end it'll make you better. But sometimes when you're trudging through it, it can get kind of discouraging. But if you can compete against great competition, it will just make you better. We had a year here at Tabor that we started 1-5 and made it to the Elite 8. And, you know, if you would have asked our players after 6 games if we would have been in the Elite 8, they probably would have said definitely not, you know. But you just learn a lot about yourself. And I think this team will do that, and they'll learn about Coach, you know, Marshall and his, you know, plan and what he wants to do, and they're just going to have to band together. And this is a good test for them here tonight. you know, I think that they're probably surprised Kansas Wesleyan, maybe surprised themselves a little bit here. But, you know, if they can buckle down and get a victory, then that's growing through winning. That was a great play right there.
Yeah, it was. And, you know, we've hit the ball well. A lot of across the body is now we're going to serve up 5-3 here in this final set. But that time, instead of bringing the ball across our body, we went the other direction, maybe threw them off a little bit. But,
yeah,
you know, we thank you for your time, Sean, coming up and visiting with us. And hopefully, you know, they'll be able to come away with a victory here. As we're going to have a 6-3 Tabor lead here. We're going to have a timeout by KW so we can visit a little bit more.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, we talked about the schedule, and you're right. They're going to look better and better, and if they can survive the tough schedule over the next few weeks, you know, and maybe pull out some wins, but
Absolutely.
play tough and just show improvement. You know, everybody thinks it's always about winning and losing all the time, and that's your goal to win, but getting better and playing better teams will help you with that.
Especially early in the year. You know, we want to play well at the end of the year. That's the most important thing. So
all right,
hopefully they can do that.
They got the camera on us again over here. I hope they're getting you on that more than me. So
yeah, this is my good side.
Yeah.
So, you know, I feel confident about that.
Well, we're going to let Sean go and enjoy the rest of this match. Hopefully up 6-3 here in this final set. You know, I hope our young squad can pull this one out. That'd be a huge win for them. But Sean,
yes.
Thanks for your time, and
hey,
good luck to you this basketball season.
Thanks for all you do on these webcasts, too. I really appreciate it. Go Jays.
You bet. Again, that was head coach of the women's team, Sean Reed, talking a little bit about his team and a little bit about what he's seen with the volleyball squad and how their schedule could play out, you know, for them down the road. And they're going to call that 4 hits, but that should have been a block or a deflection, and then over. And they're going to call that 4 hits. And whatever the Janet Johnston, the official on the floor, has told Coach Ganau, and he says okay, shakes his head, moves on, and we're going to play. So 6-4 Tabor. And there's another one for the Blue Jays, 7-4. So we're going to see if we can keep riding this momentum here as Morrow comes in to serve for Quiring. Deflected out. This final set, they'll switch at 8, and it's 8-4 Tabor as Kansas Wesleyan thought the ball was hit. The officials and the line judges all say no. And I'll tell you, after watching a lot of the officials, they don't miss near as many as people think. They're right most of the time, and it usually evens out. They'll miss a few, one each way here and there, but for the most part, they get them right, and these officials drive many miles. We have one from Oklahoma City here today. They drive a lot of miles, so, you know, so these people can play, the ladies in this case, and that's great. 8-4 Tabor. As Sandoval, the freshman, makes a nice cross-court kill, 9-4 Tabor. I would like to get a plug in for our women's soccer team. They've played some reserve matches or JV or scrimmages against some of the JUCOs, and they did win tonight 2-0. I got a text from Coach Thompson, said, man, the reserves played really well. So Tabor with a 2-0 win over Allen County in soccer. So good job, Lady Jays, there. And we will be streaming soccer this Saturday with multiple cameras and graphics going. And so tune into that if you want to catch that. Hopefully YouTube will be fixed then, and we'll be going. 9-5 Tabor. Ball goes back over to Kansas Wesleyan's number 7, Kelsey Ripperger, 5'6" junior from Hastings, Nebraska. Out of Hastings High School, put the ball into play to Tabor. 9-5 Blue Jays once again here in the deciding set. Tabor won the first 2. Kansas Wesleyan won the last 2. Tabor really got out to a lead in the first two, 4 or 5 points, and held it, won roughly by 5 or 6 both sets. Kansas Wesleyan got out to a 5-point lead the first set, 7 in the second set. Tabor come all the way back in the second to take a lead, the fourth set, and couldn't quite get over the top. Wesleyan forced a game 5, which we're in now. Set 5, that is, and Tabor, the ball hitting out, it's 9-7. We switched at 8-4 to KW on a 3-1 run here in this final set. Coach Ganow decides he needs a timeout, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. As you can see, some of the replays being brought to you by Micah and Rickert, Mike Jameson, and Chris Glanzer up in the booth. Of course, Luke is on our camera tonight, doing a good job, and he's getting those close-up shots for your viewing pleasure out there. 9-7 Tabor, as Wesleyan has cut this lead down to 2. Fifth set will go to 15. And the attack, the kill was hit and deflected out by Tabor, 9-8. Tabor needs to stop the momentum right here. And Wesleyan's height at the net is giving the Blue Jays problems as it's 9-9. Tabor really needs to get it stopped here, and they need to get a point. Good job by Hebert. Here we go with that cross court hit again, swinging across the body, pulling the ball right to left on the line. As the 5'11" sophomore from Gospel stops the Wesleyan run, gives Tabor the lead 10-9. And the put away by the Coyotes, tie it up at 10 once again. KW. Once again, this final set goes to 15. Still must win by 2. And that time, Dirkson's block or attack, her kill was blocked by the Coyotes. And Tabor's now down 12-10, and Ganow is going to call another timeout. So it was 8-4 on the change of side. And Tabor probably wish they could have stayed where they were at, because now they've been outscored 8-2 to find themselves in a 12-10 hole in this final set to go into 15. Once again, Tabor running into the tall trees of KW on the front line and can't get the ball past them. KW, got to give them credit. They're doing a nice job of blocking here in this third set. Tabor still got life, down 13-10. We try the back set as Dirksen runs around. Changes it up a little bit. Good play by the Blue Jays as they get the ball back to serve and the point, 13-11. KW still ahead. Nice play there by the Blue Jays now, cutting the lead to 1, 13-12. Tabor out of timeouts, KW with 1 left here in the final set. Smith puts the ball safely in play. And the block is out off Tabor, so it's going to be match point to KW, 14-12. Tabor keeping the ball alive. Knocked over to the Coyotes. Good play by Morrow to keep it alive in. Dirksen with the tip over. And it's going to be 14-13. And KW wants a timeout, so the match really heating up here. Once again, if you're just tuning in, Tabor won the first 2. KW the second 2. Tabor had a big lead here in the third. Switch sides, that lead evaporated. KW took a lead, had match point. Now it's 14-13 KW. Still match point, but it's going to be Tabor's serve coming out of this timeout. Query now subbing in for Morrow. And Sandoval's going to be back to serve, number 2 for the Blue Jays. Again, 13-14. Tabor trails by 1. It is match point KW. See if Tabor can take advantage of this and tie it up right here. Graf with the attack. Tabor's got another chance here. Queering winds up. Both teams just kind of playing to stay in it. And with a nice shot there by Dirksen. Off the shoulder of a Coyote, out of bounds, tied up, 14-all. And the Tabor section over there across the way with the students, and on this side, most of the parents are standing and really applauding that play by the Blue Jays. 14-all. Sandoval back to serve again. Key point here. Let's see if Tabor can get a lead. They have a chance. And Graf kill goes in the net, 14-15 KW. Tabor's going to have to find a way to stay alive. One more point. Queering will get a chance. It's hit back over to Tabor's side. Queering will get a chance again. Down almost to the floor. Good pickup by KW. Tabor's got one more shot again. Little miscommunication. Queering comes up big once again. Tied up 15-all. Tabor serving. After all the kind of errors in the first couple of sets by both squads, back and forth. Really quality match here in the final set. Dirksen back to serve for Tabor, tied up at 15. Whoever gets ahead by 2 now will win as the last set goes to 15. Point Coyotes. 16-15 KW. Tabor's going to try to stay alive one more time. And Tabor comes up short in the last set, 15-17. So the Blue Jays win the first 2, lose the second 2, and lose the third and deciding set. Tonight, I think what you saw is Tabor coming out, getting on top and playing from ahead, being up 4 or 5. The first 2 sets come away with wins. Third and fourth set, you saw another Tabor team. They did get down by 4 or 5, 6, 7 in the fourth set, but you saw the side that's going to not quit and come back, tie up the fourth set, got close in the third set, couldn't quite get over the hump. And then in the final set, you saw Tabor get ahead, and you saw them get behind, match point against them a couple of times, but again, you saw the heart, you saw the fight, you saw them not give up, and then finally, 1 point there at the end just kind of went not their way. Overall, pretty excited to watch this team continue to develop and play. Once again, you've heard me say a lot of times tonight, pick towards the bottom of the conference. KW picked towards the top. And the receiving votes in the country, and what you saw tonight was what I mentioned earlier. I think anybody can win in this conference. And I think you saw that tonight with KW and Tabor, as the Blue Jays were right in there the whole way. And as they continue to gel, continue to get coached close, continue to understand what Coach Ganawan wants, and he understands more of how his players play in certain situations. I think it's a bright future for the Blue Jays. Only going to see him keeping to get better. A couple tough weekends coming up here against some good teams that'll test them, but I think you'll see a lot of really good things. So once again, Tabor winning the first 2, losing the next 2, and then the third and deciding set to KW, but played very well tonight. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in October. And I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, but you're going to see some replays go. Thank you for watching.